Welcome to Timeless Wisdom. Look around you. You are surrounded by people who are constantly reacting, constantly exploding, and constantly losing pieces of their soul to the opinions of others. In our modern age, we have been conditioned to believe that having a quick response is a sign of intelligence or strength. We think that being loud is being powerful. But I am here to tell you the opposite. An instant reaction is almost always a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you do not own yourself. It is a sign that your internal world is up for sale to the highest bidder. If a single word from a stranger can ruin your day, then that stranger is your master. If a sarcastic comment from a coworker can make your blood boil, then that coworker owns your peace of mind. Most of you are walking through life with invisible shackles, handing the keys to your internal kingdom to anyone who happens to walk by. Today, we break those chains. We are entering the realm of the silent king, where the greatest weapon is not a sword, but a profound, unshakable stillness that no storm can disturb. Every time you react to a provocation, you are performing a form of emotional suicide. You are taking your precious life force, the energy you need to build your business, to love your family, and to heal your body, and you are throwing it into the trash can of someone else's ego. Think about it. Why does someone provoke you? It is because they are insecure. It is because they are hurting. And they want you to hurt with them. They want to see you dance to their tune. When you get angry, they win. When you defend yourself desperately, they win. They have successfully hijacked your nervous system and turned you into a reflection of their own chaos. But when you master the art of non-reaction, you become a ghost in their machine. They pull the strings, but you do not move. They throw the fire, but you do not burn. This is not about being passive or being a doormat, it is about being so powerful that the world's noise simply cannot find a frequency to resonate with your soul. You are becoming a mountain of granite in a world of passing, temporary clouds. There is a profound alchemy in silence that the common man cannot understand. To the world, silence looks like emptiness. But to the wise, silence is full of power and answers. When you are faced with an insult, a betrayal, or a blatant attempt to diminish your worth, your silence acts as a high-velocity mirror. Most people expect you to fight back because that's what they would do. They are prepared for a battle. When you don't fight, you create a psychological vacuum that they cannot handle. You force the other person to sit in the stench of their own behavior. Without your reaction to distract them, they have nothing to look at but their own ugliness. Your non-reaction is the most brutal honesty you can ever offer a toxic person. It says, your attempt to disturb me has failed because you are not significant enough to affect my peace. This is how the wise navigate a world of noise without losing their center. Imagine a man standing in front of a massive, ancient bell. He takes a hammer and strikes it with all his might. The bell rings out a deep, resonant tone that echoes for miles. Now, imagine that same man taking that same hammer and striking a pile of soft, thick mud. What happens? There is no sound. There is no resonance. There is no echo. The mud simply absorbs the blow and remains exactly as it was. The man with the hammer is exhausted, frustrated, and spent, but the mud is unchanged. This is the power of non-reaction. You must learn to become like the mud. Not in the sense of being low, but in the sense of being an absolute absorber of external energy. When you refuse to give a provocation a tone to ring out, you extinguish the fire before it can even start. You become an energy black hole for toxicity. The hammer of the world will eventually break itself against your absolute stillness. You are not a bell that rings whenever someone hits you, you are the earth that absorbs the strike and remains whole. Let us go deeper into the metaphor of the ocean, for it is the ultimate teacher of non-reaction. The surface of the sea is a place of constant drama and shallow movement. It is influenced by the moon, the winds, the temperature, and the debris that humans throw into it. It is never the same from one minute to the next. If you live only on the surface of your own mind, you will be perpetually exhausted. You will be a slave to the news cycles, the social media trends, and the shifting moods of the people around you. But the ocean is miles deep. At its floor, there is a silence so profound that it has remained unchanged for millions of years. The greatest hurricanes in human history have never reached the bottom of the sea. The fish that live in those depths do not even know that a storm is happening above them. They are protected by the weight of their own depth. You must find the bottom of the sea within yourself. This is your core identity, your unshakable values, and your connection to the eternal wisdom of the ages. When you live from this place, a social insult is like a pebble thrown into a hurricane. It is irrelevant. It is invisible. You start to look at people who are trying to provoke you with a sense of curious pity rather than anger. You see them as wounded children who are desperately trying to get a reaction because they don't know how to get love or respect. When you see the world through this lens, the need to react vanishes into thin air. You don't get angry at a barking dog, and you don't get angry at a storm. You simply observe them and stay in your depth. This is not about ignoring life, it is about mastering the hierarchy of what deserves your attention and what is merely background noise. Depth is your ultimate defense. The bridge between a puppet and a master is a single, conscious second. It is what I call the alchemy of the pause. When a stimulus hits you, a sarcastic comment from a friend, a betrayal from a partner, or a sudden setback in your career, your ego wants to react instantly. It wants to defend, to attack, to prove it is right. This is an ancient survival mechanism, a relic of our primitive past that no longer serves the modern man of wisdom. To master non-reaction, you must train yourself to breathe into that 1-second gap. In that pause, you ask yourself, does this deserve my precious energy? Will this matter in 5 years? Is my peace worth sacrificing for this person's fragile ego? Usually, the answer is a resounding no. By taking that single breath, you move the control from your primal brain to your higher consciousness. You transform a reactive moment into a creative choice. True sovereignty is the ability to maintain your own frequency regardless of the environment you are in. If you walk into a room full of angry people and you become angry, you have lost your sovereignty. You have been colonized by their energy. But if you walk into that same room and remain perfectly calm, you are the one who is colonizing the space. Your stillness will eventually force them to match your frequency, or they will be forced to leave your presence because they can no longer stand the contrast. This is the secret power of the wise. They do not fight for control, they simply remain so centered that control naturally flows toward them like water to a valley. They are the fixed point in a spinning, chaotic world. By not reacting, you become the most influential person in any room, because you are the only one who cannot be manipulated by outside forces. You are the master of your own internal weather. To master non-reaction, you must perform a daily audit of your emotional energy. Ask yourself, who am I giving my power to today? Every time you spend 20 minutes thinking about an argument you had 3 hours ago, you are still giving that person your power. Every time you rehearse what you should have said to that rude clerk or that toxic relative, you are still their slave. They are living in your head rent-free, eating your thoughts and drinking your peace. The art of non-reaction includes the ability to drop the event the moment it is over. A master is like water. When the stone is thrown in, the water ripples for a moment and then returns to its perfect, glassy stillness. It does not remember the stone. It does not hold a grudge against the stone. It simply returns to being itself, pure and undisturbed. As we conclude this briefing, I want you to take a deep, conscious breath. Feel the stillness that exists within you, right beneath the surface of your noisy thoughts. That stillness is your power. That stillness is your throne. The world will continue to be loud. People will continue to be rude, selfish, and chaotic. You cannot change the wind, but you can absolutely choose how you set your sails. Make a commitment today that you will no longer be an easy target. You will no longer be a puppet on someone else's strings. When the next provocation comes, and it will come, perhaps even today, I want you to smile inwardly. See it as a test of your new strength. See it as an opportunity to practice your sovereignty. Do not explain yourself. Do not defend yourself. Just be. I am the voice of timeless wisdom, and I am telling you, stay wise, stay centered, and reclaim your throne in the quiet depths. Your true life starts the moment you stop reacting and start being.